Did you know that something as small as a nut could change your life after 65? I'm not exaggerating. Last year, my dear friend Martha, at 78 years old, started having terrible joint pain. Her doctor was talking surgery, pills, and a long recovery. But then her daughter suggested adding a handful of specific nuts to her daily routine. 3 months later, Martha was dancing at her granddaughter's wedding. Her doctor was shocked. But here's what's frightening. Some of the nuts you might be eating right now could be doing more harm than good. In fact, certain nuts can actually worsen inflammation, trigger digestive issues, and even interfere with medications many seniors take daily. I've spent 30 years studying nutrition for older adults, and what I've discovered will surprise you. Some nuts marketed as superfoods might be working against your body after 65. Today, I'm sharing the 5 nuts that could help you feel decades younger, and the 5 that might be silently working against you. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last nut on our avoid list is one that almost every senior eats regularly, and most doctors never warn you about its hidden dangers. Are you ready to discover which nuts could be your allies or enemies? Let's get started. Nuts you should be eating. Number 1. Walnut wine, nature's brain food. Have you noticed those moments when you walk into a room and forget why you came in? Or struggle to recall a name you've known for years? These senior moments aren't just annoying, they can be downright scary. Take Frank, a 73-year-old retired teacher I met at one of my workshops. Frank started noticing he couldn't remember his students' names when he'd run into them around town. It embarrassed him so much that he began avoiding social gatherings. His world was shrinking because of memory concerns. Here's why walnuts matter. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid. Your brain is made up of about 60% fat, and these specific fats help maintain the health of brain cell membranes. Scientists at the University of California found that eating just a quarter cup of walnuts daily improved cognitive function in seniors. What makes walnuts special for people over 65 is their unique combination of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier, directly supporting brain health in ways other nuts can't match. For Frank, adding a small handful of walnuts to his morning oatmeal made a noticeable difference within just weeks. He didn't suddenly remember everything, but those embarrassing blank moments became less frequent. The easiest way to add walnuts to your routine: replace your afternoon cookie with 7 to 8 walnut halves, or try sprinkling crushed walnuts over your salad or yogurt. The key is consistency. Small amounts daily work better than larger amounts occasionally. Have you noticed changes in your memory in recent years? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you've tried walnuts for brain health, I'd love to hear your results. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Nuts you should be eating. Number 2. Almonds, the heart guardian. When Dorothy, my 68-year-old neighbor, got her blood pressure reading of 168/92, her doctor immediately wanted to put her on medication. Dorothy was terrified. Her sister had terrible side effects from blood pressure meds. High blood pressure affects nearly 70% of adults over 65, silently damaging your heart, brain, and kidneys without any symptoms. It's called the silent killer for good reason. What most seniors don't realize is that almonds contain a powerful combination of magnesium, potassium, and healthy fats that work together to relax blood vessels and reduce pressure. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that eating just 1.5 ounces of almonds daily, about 23 nuts, reduced LDL cholesterol by 5% and helped lower blood pressure. The science is clear. Almonds contain L-arginine, an amino acid that your body converts to nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. This is especially important for seniors, as our blood vessels naturally stiffen with age. Dorothy decided to try adding a small handful of almonds to her daily routine before resorting to medication. She'd eat them plain as a snack or add slivered almonds to her morning yogurt. Within 6 weeks, her blood pressure had dropped to 142/85. Still not perfect, but a significant improvement that impressed her doctor. The easiest way to benefit? Keep a small container of almonds in your kitchen and measure out about 20 nuts, a small handful, daily. Unsalted is best if you are concerned about blood pressure. Do you monitor your blood pressure at home? What readings are you seeing lately? Share in the comments if you found natural ways to keep your numbers in check. Nuts you should be eating. Number 3, pistachios, the sleep supporter. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 15 years. That's what Harold, a 77-year-old retired postal worker, told me when we first met. Harold would fall asleep easily but wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., his mind racing, unable to fall back asleep. Sound familiar? Sleep problems plague over 50% of adults over 65. Poor sleep isn't just exhausting, it's linked to increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, memory problems, and even falls. Many seniors turn to sleep medications, not realizing these drugs can cause confusion and increase fall risk. Here's where pistachios come in as an unexpected hero. These green gems contain significant amounts of melatonin, the same hormone your body produces naturally to regulate sleep. As we age, our natural melatonin production drops dramatically, which explains why sleep becomes more elusive. A study from Louisiana State University found that eating pistachios a few hours before bedtime increased melatonin levels in the bloodstream and improved sleep quality in older adults. But what makes pistachios special is that they provide melatonin alongside magnesium and B6, nutrients that help your body use that melatonin effectively. For Harold, eating about 30 pistachios, in shell, which slows down consumption, around 7 p.m. each evening became his new routine. Within 2 weeks, he noticed he was waking up less frequently. By 1 month, he was sleeping for longer stretches and feeling more rested in the morning. The simplest way to try this? Buy unsalted in-shell pistachios and keep a small bowl near your evening chair. The act of shelling them slowly is actually therapeutic and prevents overeating. Aim for about a quarter cup, measured after shelling, a few hours before bed. Do you struggle with sleep issues? What time do you typically wake up in the night? Share your sleep challenges in the comments. You're definitely not alone in this struggle. Nuts you should be eating. Number 4, Brazil nuts, the thyroid protector. I'm always cold, my skin is so dry, and I'm exhausted no matter how much I sleep. This is what Elaine, 71, told her doctor for 3 years, before finally being diagnosed with hypothyroidism. By then, she'd gained 23 pounds, lost a third of her hair, and was battling depression. Thyroid problems are incredibly common after 65, especially for women, yet they're often dismissed as normal aging. The truth is, an underactive thyroid can drain your energy, cloud your thinking, and make every day feel like you're walking through quicksand. Brazil nuts contain something almost magical for seniors: selenium. This mineral is critical for proper thyroid function, and most seniors don't get nearly enough. Your thyroid gland has the highest concentration of selenium in your entire body, using it to produce and regulate thyroid hormones. What's remarkable about Brazil nuts is that just one nut contains 175% of your daily selenium needs. That's not a typo. A single nut provides more than a day's worth of this critical mineral. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that selenium supplementation improved thyroid function in older adults, particularly those with mild deficiencies. For Elaine, eating just 2 Brazil nuts daily, along with proper medical treatment, helped restore her energy levels and reduced her hair loss significantly within 2 months. The easiest way to add this to your routine? Simply eat 1 Brazil nut each morning, but don't overdo it. More is not better with these particular nuts, as too much selenium can be harmful. 1 to 2 nuts daily is the perfect amount. Have you experienced unexplained fatigue, weight gain, or sensitivity to cold? These could be thyroid symptoms. Share in the comments if you've had thyroid issues and what's helped you feel better. Nuts you should be eating. Number 5, pecans, the inflammation fighter. James, an active 68-year-old who loved woodworking, gradually found his hands becoming so stiff and painful that he couldn't hold his tools. His doctor diagnosed arthritis and offered pain medications, but James worried about side effects and dependence. Chronic inflammation is at the root of most age-related diseases: arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, even Alzheimer's. As we age, our bodies naturally produce more inflammatory compounds, creating a constant, low-grade inflammation that silently damages our joints, blood vessels, and organs. Pecans are inflammation-fighting powerhouses, containing the highest antioxidant content of any nut. What makes them special for seniors is their unique profile of polyphenols and gamma-tocopherols, a form of vitamin E, that directly target the inflammatory processes that worsen with age. A study published in Nutrients found that eating pecans daily reduced multiple markers of inflammation in the bloodstream, particularly in adults over 55. This means pecans don't just mask pain like medications. They help address the underlying cause. For James, adding a small handful of pecans to his daily routine, alongside omega-3 supplements recommended by his doctor, helped reduce the stiffness in his hands within 6 weeks. While not a miracle cure, this simple addition allowed him to get back to his workshop for short periods, a significant improvement in his quality of life. The simplest way to enjoy pecans? Keep a container of halved pecans in your refrigerator. This preserves their delicate oils. And eat about 15-20 halves daily. They're delicious plain or lightly toasted and sprinkled over salads or oatmeal. Do your joints ache more than they used to? Which joints give you the most trouble? Share your experience with inflammation and what's helped you manage it in the comments below. Nuts you should avoid. Number 1. Macadamia nuts, the calorie bomb. I'm eating healthy, walking every day, and still can't lose weight. Linda, a 73-year-old retiree, was frustrated after gaining 12 pounds despite following what she thought was a healthy diet. Her secret downfall? The daily handful of macadamia nuts she'd been adding to her diet after reading about their health benefits. Weight management becomes increasingly challenging after 65. Your metabolism naturally slows about 2% per decade after 20, and even more after 65. This means the calories you could easily burn off at 40 might stick around permanently at 70. Here's the problem with macadamia nuts. They're the highest calorie nut available, packing a whopping 200 calories in just a small handful, about 10 to 12 nuts. While they do contain healthy fats, their extreme calorie density can quickly sabotage weight management efforts for seniors. For someone like Linda, adding that daily handful of macadamias without reducing calories elsewhere meant an extra 1,400 calories weekly, translating to about 1 to 2 pounds of weight gain each month. The science is clear. For adults over 65, maintaining a healthy weight is crucial for mobility, joint health, and preventing chronic disease. Each pound of excess weight puts about 4 pounds of pressure on your knees when walking, meaning Linda's 12-pound gain added nearly 50 pounds of force to her aging knee joints. After identifying macadamia nuts as the likely culprit, Linda switched to walnuts instead, measuring carefully to ensure a proper portion. Within 2 months, she had lost 7 pounds without changing anything else in her routine. If you enjoy the buttery taste of macadamias, consider them an occasional treat rather than a daily snack. For everyday nuts, choose lower-calorie options like almonds or pistachios, and always measure your portion rather than eating from the package. Have you noticed certain healthy foods causing unexpected weight gain? What foods have surprised you? Share your experience in the comments below. Nuts you should avoid. Number 2. Cashews, the blood sugar disruptor. Robert, a 67-year-old with type 2 diabetes, was confused when his carefully managed blood sugar levels started spiking in the afternoons. After reviewing his food diary, we discovered he'd been enjoying a handful of cashews as his afternoon snack, believing they were a healthy choice. For the 1 in 3 seniors with diabetes or prediabetes, maintaining stable blood sugar is a constant challenge. Even small spikes can increase the risk of heart disease, kidney problems, and nerve damage over time. What most people don't realize about cashews is that they have one of the highest carbohydrate contents of any nut, nearly 9 grams of carbs per ounce, compared to just 3 or 4 grams in the same amount of walnuts. For seniors with diabetes or prediabetes, this carbohydrate load can cause unexpected blood sugar fluctuations. Studies in the Journal of Diabetes Research have shown that the specific type of starch in cashews causes faster blood sugar rises compared to other nuts, particularly in adults over 60, whose insulin response is naturally diminished with age. For Robert, switching from cashews to almonds as his afternoon snack helped stabilize his blood glucose readings within just days. His fasting numbers improved as well, suggesting that even small dietary adjustments can have significant impacts for seniors managing diabetes. If you enjoy cashews and don't have blood sugar concerns, they're perfectly fine in moderation. But if you're among the millions of seniors monitoring glucose levels, consider choosing lower-carb nuts like walnuts, pecans, or macadamias instead. Do you monitor your blood sugar? Have you noticed certain foods causing unexpected spikes? Share your experiences in the comments section. Your observation might help another viewer. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Nuts you should avoid number 3. Pine nuts, the medication interferer. Mildred, an active 83-year-old, suddenly developed unusual bruising across her arms and legs. Her doctor was alarmed to find her blood wasn't clotting properly, despite no changes to her warfarin, blood thinner dosage. The culprit? The pine nut pesto she'd been enjoying twice weekly from her neighbor's garden. More than 87% of adults over 65 take at least one prescription medication, and 36% take 5 or more. These medications are literal lifesavers, but their effectiveness depends on careful balance, a balance certain foods can disrupt. Pine nuts contain unusually high levels of vitamin K, which directly interferes with blood thinners like warfarin, Coumadin. Just 2 tablespoons of pine nuts can provide enough vitamin K to significantly alter how these medications work in your body. What makes this particularly dangerous for seniors is that the effect isn't immediate. It builds up over days or weeks, often causing problems long after you've connected the food to the reaction. A study in the Journal of Thrombosis and Hemostasis documented multiple cases of serious bleeding events in seniors taking warfarin who increased their consumption of high vitamin K foods. For Mildred, eliminating pine nuts from her diet and switching to a walnut pesto instead allowed her doctor to restabilize her medication levels within 2 weeks. Had the bleeding continued undetected, she could have faced serious complications. If you take blood thinners, heart medications, or cholesterol drugs, pine nuts are best avoided or used very sparingly. Always maintain consistency with vitamin K intake. Dramatic increases or decreases can be dangerous when on certain medications. The simplest approach? Bring a list of the nuts you commonly eat to your next doctor's appointment and ask specifically if any might interact with your medications. Different blood thinners have different sensitivities to vitamin K, so personal medical advice is crucial. Do you take blood thinners or other daily medications? Has your doctor ever discussed food interactions with you? Share your experience in the comments section. Nuts you should avoid number 4. Peanuts, the inflammatory trigger. My joint pain gets so bad some days I can barely open a water bottle. That's what Helen, a 76-year-old grandmother, told me during our first consultation. Despite taking anti-inflammatory medications, her arthritis seemed to be worsening each month. What many seniors don't realize is that peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes that grow underground, where they absorb mold and fungi from the soil. These compounds can trigger inflammatory responses, particularly in older adults whose immune systems are already more reactive. The science is surprising. Peanuts contain proteins called lectins that can increase intestinal permeability, sometimes called leaky gut, allowing partially digested food particles to enter the bloodstream. Your immune system reacts to these particles as invaders, creating widespread inflammation that often concentrates in the joints. Studies in the Frontiers in Nutrition journal have found that eliminating lectin-rich foods like peanuts significantly reduced inflammatory markers in adults over 60 with arthritis and other inflammatory conditions. For Helen, cutting peanut butter from her daily toast, she switched to almond butter instead, and avoiding peanuts in all forms led to noticeably reduced joint pain within 3 weeks. Within 2 months, she was able to garden again for short periods, an activity she'd abandoned due to hand pain. If you enjoy peanuts but have inflammatory conditions, consider switching to tree nuts like almonds or walnuts, which don't contain the same problematic compounds. Pay attention to hidden peanuts in Asian dishes, baked goods, and processed foods, which can contribute to your overall inflammatory load. Do you notice your joint pain or stiffness worsen after eating certain foods? Have you ever tried eliminating specific foods to see if your symptoms improve? Share your experiences in the comments below. Nuts you should avoid. Number 5. Chocolate-covered nuts. The hidden danger Bill, a 70-year-old with well-controlled diabetes, was puzzled when his doctor reported elevated triglycerides and cholesterol at his yearly physical. The only change in his routine? The chocolate-covered almonds his daughter had sent for Christmas, which he'd been enjoying every evening, believing the almonds made them a healthy choice. Chocolate-covered nuts might seem like the perfect compromise between health and indulgence. After all, dark chocolate has antioxidants, and nuts have heart-healthy fats. What could go wrong? The hidden danger lies in what manufacturers add to create that irresistible flavor. Most chocolate-covered nuts contain not just chocolate, but added oils, sugars, and sometimes partially hydrogenated oils that introduce trans fats. A single quarter-cup serving of commercially prepared chocolate-covered nuts can contain up to 4 teaspoons of added sugar and significant amounts of unhealthy fats. For seniors with diabetes, heart disease, or high cholesterol, these additions can undermine health goals. Research in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that even small daily amounts of added sugars and trans fats significantly increase cardiovascular risk factors in adults over 65. What's particularly deceptive is the health halo effect. Because nuts themselves are healthy, many seniors consume chocolate-covered varieties without the same caution they'd apply to other sweets. For Bill, switching back to plain almonds and occasionally enjoying a small square of dark chocolate separately helped restore his blood work to normal ranges within 3 months. If you enjoy the chocolate-nut combination, consider making your own healthier version. Melt a few squares of 70% plus dark chocolate and lightly drizzle it over a small portion of your favorite nuts. Let it harden in the refrigerator for a controlled portion with minimal added sugar. Have you found yourself eating more of a healthy food because it seems virtuous? What foods have you realized weren't as healthy as you thought? Share your food surprises in the comments section. As we've seen today, the simple choice of which nuts to include in your diet can have powerful effects on your health after 65. The right nuts can support your brain, heart, sleep, thyroid, and help fight inflammation. The wrong ones might unknowingly work against your health goals or even interfere with important medications. Remember Martha from the beginning of our video? She's now teaching dance classes twice a week at her senior center, all from making small, intentional choices about her diet. I encourage you to start small. Perhaps choose just one recommended nut to add to your routine this week. Maybe walnuts for brain health or pistachios if sleep is your challenge. Keep a simple journal noting any changes you notice. Our bodies speak to us. We just need to listen. I'd love to hear which of these nuts you already eat regularly or which one you're planning to try. Share in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If you found value in today's information, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Each subscription helps us reach more seniors with information that can truly improve quality of life. And if you know someone who could benefit from this knowledge, sharing is the greatest gift you can give. Until next time, remember that small changes, consistently applied, create remarkable results. Here's to your health.